Welcome to step number 4 of the partial quick weave hairstyle. In this step, I will show you how to further blend your extensions with your real hair. We will begin by working our way from the back up to the top of our head. We will take a layer of our real hair and use our flat iron to straighten out that section. And then you will also trim the hair on your extensions to further blend it with your real hair. This is the moment where you will put the finishing touches on your style. We will go section by section, straightening our real hair and also using our scissors to trim the extensions to better blend with this look. So now what I'm going to do is take my comb and help me to locate the direct back of the mannequin head. So I want to go from the layer that has the real hair on the outer edge up to my first extension that I installed. So from this point, you're going to lift up the hair, and then you're going to place the hair into a ponytail and straighten out your real hair that's left on the edges. If your hair is already straight, you can skip this step. This step is not necessary. But to make sure that this better blends with the extensions and that it lays as flat as possible, I will go through and run the flat iron through the section of the real hair, section by section. So now that my flat iron is heated up, I have combed a section of hair here that I will flat iron. And then you're going to continue to do so over your entire layer. So now you're going to remove your band and comb your layer of extension piece over, and also exposing some real hair that's in between the two layers. Keep in mind to make sure that when you are going layer by layer, that you are exposing your real hair if it's necessary for you to blend your real hair better with your extension. If you want to go for more of a wavy look, it's always best to use wavy hair extensions to blend best with your hair. But if your hair is already straight and you would like to go for a more straight look, then use straight hair extensions like what's used here. So even though the hair is already straightened, you can definitely make sure to go over with a pass on your flat iron so that it blends better and feels more smooth to touch. Because I am demonstrating on a mannequin head, it's fine that I take my flat iron and I apply the heat directly onto the hair. But if you are doing this onto your real hair, I suggest that you use some type of heat protectant to spray onto your hair to protect your hair from heat damage. This is definitely not necessary to give you a sleek look with your style, but especially if you have naturally wavy hair, you want to use some type of heat protectant to prevent your hair from becoming damaged. So now as you continue to run your flat iron through sections of your hair, once we have finished doing that process, then we will go in with our scissors and trim off any necessary areas of extension so that it can better blend with our style. So once you finish running your flat iron through your individual sections of hair, you are going to begin to trim the ends of your extensions so it can better match your hair texture or the length of your hair. So when you are putting in your extensions, you may just want to have extra fullness. So what you want to do is go in section by section and cut the ends to where it meets your real hair. You never want to cut your hair to blend your hair with your extensions. That's totally not necessary. So if you only want to add more hair for fullness, go in section by section and trim your extensions to match the length of your real hair. But if you want to do it for length, leave everything as is, but just barely trim off the very bits of your extension so that it can gradually look like your real hair. So for example, I'm going to show you on the side of the mannequin head. So as you can see right here, if I grab this section of hair here, you can see bluntly where the real hair kind of stops somewhere in here, and you can even see it in the beginning. And then you have some extra hair that's left at the bottom. That's two totally different lengths. So what you want to do is take your comb and you want to part out a medium-sized section here on the side and use your clips to keep the rest of the hair out of the way. So now what you want to do is comb the hair outward. Make sure it's nice and even. Slightly downward so you can see the ends of the hair here. You can see where your real hair is, and then you can see the very long parts, and those are the extensions. So what you want to do is take your scissors and lightly trim, cutting at a 45-degree angle, trimming off the little bits of the extension all the way down. So now when you comb the hair downward, it blends a lot better. And you can go back in and clean up more ends as necessary. So you're going to do so on the next side here. Comb the hair outward. Run your fingers down until you meet where your real hair is to the extension. Then you're going to lightly trim downward. So we don't have to do much cutting onto the hair to make sure that it blends in with the extension, because we want to keep the back longer for length, but we want to make sure that closest to the front of the head, it blends better, as you can see here. So now we're going to work on the other side here and do the same thing. Comb the hair downward. And we're going to focus on the front area here where the real hair sticks out from your extensions. So just lightly trim downward to blend the hair with each other, making sure not to cut your real hair, and then release. So now you want to grab your next section here. And you want to do this in the necessary areas that you need. You don't have to do this all over if you want to keep length in the back. But if you just want fullness, remember to go section by section and trim the extensions to match each layer of your hair. In this step of the partial quick weave hairstyle, I showed you how to further blend your extensions with your real hair. You want to start off in the back of your head and work your way towards the top using your flat iron to further blend your real hair with your extensions, only if that is necessary. Also, if you're going into this style to just have more thickness and volume with your hair, go layer by layer and trim your extensions to match the true length of your hair length. But in both case scenarios, whether you just want added thickness or you want added length, you want to skim along your hairline to trim your extension hair so it can gradually seem to match the length of your real hair. In the next step, step number 5, I will show you the finished results to your partial quick weave hairstyle.